Welcome back to the program, everyone. Alright, today we are actually changing some strut tops in this Nissan Dualis. As you can see, they are extremely cracked and damaged. Quick backstory on this one. Dude bought it with a Roadworthy actually, and he's a bit upset because there's a few things wrong with it when he got it, which didn't get picked up. So he was a little bit annoyed about it, but I'll just show you guys a couple of things that you might want to keep an eye out when you're buying a vehicle that is supposed to be registered and roadworthy in Queensland. So now, if you work on cars a lot, you can see straight away a few things I'm looking at. So number one, you see this engine mount here has been replaced. We're going to ask what's going on there, why, when did this happen, this kind of stuff. You can also see this engine was really dirty at one point, and it's been heavily degreased. Now, what was a seal change, was a rocker cover gasket change, this, that, the other, but it was absolutely drenched at one point. You can see there's even water in there. Now that's more of a looking pre-purchase inspection style stuff, but that's something to be aware of. Another point, I'm going to show you the front left tire. So this was made in 2023. This is the front right, made in 2018. A very minor thing, but you're not really supposed to mix and match tread patterns up the front. You're supposed to do them as a pair. Not the biggest deal. The age is a bit concerning though, but one here, 2018 is getting up in age a little bit. Now you can't see on this one because it's on the inside, but this one is a 2017. Again, she's getting up there in a bit of age. So advise, chuck some new tires on. He's going to do that, so we'll get that sorted. But in these situations, I told him, consider yourself lucky. She starts, runs, drives, stops, doesn't smoke, doesn't overheat. Minor thing, changing the strut tops. A couple of tires ain't going to break the bank. Get that done, cruise around. Other than that, it's a pretty nice little vehicle. Unless we find something else, but let's change these strut tops. Alright, so not the worst job to do. We just knock these bolts out, sway bar out, blah blah blah, the rest of these wires here. You can see this tie rod end boot is split. That'll probably need to be changed. I wonder if anyone actually looked at this when they were doing that roadworthy. Alright. I forgot to hit record, but 2 bolts out the bottom, sway bar link off the top, disconnect all this crap. Now we got to go up top to take the 3 bolts that hold the strut in. Here's the new strut top mount. We'll compare these once I pull this one out. There it goes. So now it's as simple as just wriggling it out. So, now that it's out, we can take this strut top off. We have to compress these springs. I'm going to show you how. Just be aware that this shock is probably tired, so it probably won't work the best as well, but he just wants strut tops. He doesn't want anything else. He just wants what was missed, or whatever you want to call it, during the roadworthy, if you can call it that, because there are a couple of other things missed, obviously, but it's like I said, as long as the thing starts, runs, drives, stops, all the lights work safe for him to be on the road. He has a silver lining, you know, so let's take this thing off. Hit it with some inox so it comes off easier. So you see this nut's almost come all the way off, and that's because I released the tension on these springs to push it out. So now, if I kept going, it'll just fly off. But I'm going to reconnect these springs now. Alright, so we got the new one. There it goes. That goes back on like that. Now the thing is, because this is a flat surface here, the spring kind of sits wherever it wants. Because remember, it came out like that. So it sits along here wherever it feels like. So all you have to do is line up the bottom one. And that is in. If you need to spin the spring a bit, you just go so it sits properly. But now we are cooking. Good looking. These ones can be a little bit more annoying to install because the strut top mount doesn't actually have studs. It just has the bolts you put through the holes. So now that it's in, leave it loose so we can adjust anything we need to down here. So now you want to chuck everything back in the way you took it out. Starting with those two big bolts. Push the strut away from you. Chuck that back on there. There, we'll chuck the sway bar back in. Tighten it down. Chuck these little cables back in. So we're about to do the driver's side. I just jacked it up. So again, you can see that crack there has compressed on itself. I'll lower the jack so you can see it open up. And this is with the car actually moving. Compared to this nice new one I just installed. This is what I was talking about. See all this crap that's caked up on the crossmember? This is kind of a sign that it was really dirty and oily. And you can see it all over the engine. Again, may have changed the gaskets, may have not. But it's just something to keep an eye out. Also, ugh, double ugh. Alright, new strut on. Let's reinstall it. Alright, job done. Gonna go for a spin with a customer, see if it's making any more sounds, less sounds, if it feels better, but I'll let you know when I come back. Just got back from the test drive. Front end feels good. It does have a slight vibration still though. It feels like it's coming from the back. So I crawled up underneath, had a look. It looks to me like maybe the gearbox mount is a bit average. This is an all-wheel drive vehicle. I had to look up the back, the shocks, this, that, the other look pretty good. But I told him, take it to your local Fulcrum, get them to give it a shakedown, and then let me know what they say, and we'll see how we go from there. He came with me for the drive. He's the one who drove it. He's stoked. He's happy. Check out the other videos. If you like what you see, hit up this page here. From there, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.